A pretty active morning for a few stocks, almost everything except for the NASDAQ market. Here are some stocks that are either gapping up today based off of good news or gapping down. Let's go ahead and jump right into the screen. Again, what's going on, guys? It's Ricky here with another stock market update. If you ever have any questions, please feel free to comment down below, and hopefully I earn your thumbs up in this video. The thing that I quickly want to share is that there is some news, believe it or not, actually pretty good about the market. Yet markets are selling off. We kind of talked about this yesterday. Sunday, after the overnight hours began to open, markets began to gap up. That's kind of rare because at least for the past 5 to 6 weeks, markets have gapped down. And then by the time the markets open on Monday and into the close, they recover and they go back into the green. It's been that whole kind of like meme of like the Strait of Hormuz is closed on Friday is when it gets announced and then opened back by Monday on market open. It was kind of different this time. There was some positive news that, shedded some light that the U.S. has offered possibility of talks and Iran is currently considering them. That's a form of de-escalation, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Could it have been factored in already? Of course. If you look at the larger time frames, markets have been aggressively pushing up higher. I don't know how many times we've celebrated the end of the Iran war, right? It's what caused the initial gap up, the ceasefire, and then another end of the war, and then another end of the war, and then another end of the war, and then we capped up to new all-time highs overnight. Why? Because now there's a de-escalation. Nonetheless, there's no reason to, harbor on that too much. It's just markets seem to have digested that news maybe already. What now we're really looking out for is, can these big tech companies deliver? And that's maybe kind of what we're seeing right now, where markets are retracing a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean a little bit, right? If you look at the 4-hour time frame, we talked about this in our live trading session today, because a lot of people were asking the question, why is the market selling off if there is no negative news? Again, if you ever want to tune on into our live trading sessions, just click that second link down below and we'll see you at market open. Markets have gapped up 20% in less than a month. NASDAQ market, that's insane. One of the biggest and best rallies since 2009. With that being said, big tech is about to report earnings. And if they don't deliver, markets are factoring in great news. I mean, we're literally trading at all-time highs. And with the idea that Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, and Alphabet are all reporting at one moment after the markets close on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we have Apple. That's like half of the S&P 500's valuation, all in just 24 hours. With that being said, if they don't deliver, then just think about how much the market has factored in advance to now be trading at these elevated levels. I'm not saying that they're not going to deliver. Again, these companies print money. Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Alphabet, especially Apple. These are like the Mag 7 companies for a reason. Tesla is one of the teeter-totter ones, doesn't really make that much money when it comes down to net income. These 4 or these 5 are some of the best, right? NVIDIA aside. So it looks like markets are just maybe beginning to de-risk. Maybe people are beginning to take profits. It doesn't really surprise me after what can be viewed as one of the best rallies in a very short period of time. It makes sense on why people might be trimming or taking profits just in case earnings, when it gets released, maybe if it doesn't wow investors and markets begin to actually, reverse and correct, then at that point, they've at least trimmed their profits. With that being said, the NASDAQ market, although it is pulling back a little bit, right? It's up 20% in like 27, 28 days. It's barely down 0.14, right? So markets are not really selling off that much today. They're just not aggressively making new highs, which is kind of out of the norm if you take the past 2 weeks into consideration. I just wanted you to have a little bit of a better understanding of possibly why. With that being said, not everything is gapping down. Micron Technologies, which is a semiconductor manufacturer, doing exceptionally well. And we actually talked about it today because within 1 year, it went from $60 per share up to $531, over 600% in gains. And guess what? It trades at a very low PE ratio, but it also received more good news today. Micron's Technologies' new price target announced at $700 per share. Just a bunch of good news of new price targets, new purchases, sparking and really reigniting the excitement for Micron. Now, does this mean that it has to hold up here for a long period of time? No, not necessarily. Obviously, going from 300 to 531 within a very short period of time, it's become, technically speaking, overbought. Fundamentally speaking, if you look into the P ratio, Micron trades at a pretty low P ratio, and you have to give credit where it's due, right? 24.4 times its earnings. That's based off of standards, relatively pretty low in the semiconductor space in comparison to maybe its counterpart, AMD. A lot of you guys know that I called AMD. I made a video talking about it as something I wanted to invest in because it seemed like it wasn't performing like NVIDIA once was, right? So we ended up buying a few shares to go long right around sub $200 per share, 190 to 200, not just for my investment account, but also my daughter's long-term account. Again, I could have never expected that this thing would have exploded 80%, right? I would have purchased a lot more. With that being said, we saw it to be a decent deal at sub 200, but now it's ran up to 357. It ran up 84% in 30 days. Again, it's really important to be level-headed when there's a lot of greed in the market. So we've began to trim our profits on that long-term play because within a very short period of time, it's exploded. And now it looks like markets are beginning to de-risk. On top of that, I wanted to share the news with you. It sounds like, what's her name? She runs ARK. Kathy Woods sells AMD. And she sold like $75 million worth of AMD before it reports earnings. Can you blame her? No, right? I don't think that's, right before big tech reports earnings, if they report anything, right? Obviously, it can continue to skyrocket, especially if big tech reports better than expected earnings. Will push everything higher, especially these semiconductor stocks. They're having one of the best rallies they've had in some time. So the very strong sector as of right now. That's why you're seeing AMD, Intel. Oh, don't get me started with Intel. Bullshit companies, respectfully speaking. Intel, BS company. It loses billions of dollars every year, yet it's up like 300% in a year. But it's like the semiconductor space is so favored right now. So it's important that at these overbought levels, if you have a very attractive return within a short period of time, obviously hold if that's what you want to do. But maybe it's not the worst idea to maybe trim a little bit of those profits just in case markets do begin to correct, that you have some cash available on the sidelines. Or if you have so much cash on the sidelines already, you don't need to trim on Intel or anything that might be overvalued, then so be it, right? But I wanted you to understand why AMD was selling off so much today, 4%, and not only leading up to earnings and possible de-risking, but it seems like, again, big funds and big investors like Kathy Woods is beginning to take profits. The last thing that I quickly wanted to shed light on is that this is also beginning to negatively affect Microsoft. We've talked about this before. Microsoft falls 5% after announcing that its OpenAI license will now be non-exclusive and will no longer pay revenue to OpenAI. So again, a less favorable outcome for maybe Microsoft investors. I've talked about this with Microsoft. Again, Microsoft is an investment that I have for my long-term portfolio. But one thing that I've made very clear, it looks like it's already recovered. What the hell? Yeah, it's still holding at those elevated levels. But look, when you look at the larger time frames, in comparison to what it previously was trading at, 552, it's recovered about 18% from its lows, but Microsoft was one of the worst performing Mag 7 stocks when markets were pulling back a little bit. It sold off, it lost 1/3 of its value. And it's also one of the worst performing recoveries, meaning that Tesla aside, Tesla again is, I prefer to call them the Mag 6 companies because Tesla doesn't really even count as of right now. Microsoft is probably one of the worst performing ones because if you look at like companies like Apple or NVIDIA, these companies are trading at all-time highs or very close to all-time highs. That is not the case for Microsoft. Microsoft is kind of falling behind when it comes down to this AI race. And AI is just all the market cares about. I think there's obviously so much hype, but that hype is beginning to fade on Microsoft as it falls behind, right? I think that's the best way to put it. So although I am invested in Microsoft, I've began to pick up on these patterns that it is fading, it is losing its hype, and the hype is super important when, it begins to fade because although you can see what it can go back to, it's also important to acknowledge that it went from 300 to 500 within a very short period of time. There's a lot of hype present there. And in a short period of time, it doesn't need to return unless it announces something that was not being factored in. Again, Microsoft is still an incredibly great performing company. I have no concern about it sustaining itself. But again, if overall markets begin to correct, Microsoft is likely to take a big hit as well. So be very careful with how much exposure you have on specific companies that are showing signs of weakness. Again, just because you want to invest in something long term doesn't mean that you have to overpay right now, especially if the red flags are beginning to present themselves, right? Like you might want to invest in Intel, but does it make sense to buy Intel at all-time highs when you see, fundamentally speaking, Intel loses, $3 billion a year or has a negative P ratio? There's a discrepancy there, right? It looks like hype got factored in. It's experienced the pump. That's great for those that were invested, but maybe it's not worth it to take the risk at these elevated levels, knowing that it can correct itself. But Ricky, it's not about timing the market. It's about time in the market. Yes, Timothy, but it's also important to not overpay when you can see hype is present and clearly overbought and a disconnect between its current valuation and fundamentally what it's producing. It's just good to have common sense. You know what I mean? And I know that's kind of hard sometimes when markets are being incredibly irrational. But again, that is the difference between a trade and an investment. If you see a short-term rally or possible opportunity where direction and momentum and hype is present, don't be afraid to trade it. Just be calculated, watch your exposure, don't use leverage, and make sure that direction is in your favor. Manage and mitigate risk appropriately. But if you begin to see that it's overbought on the larger time frames and there's huge downside potential, then know how to differentiate an investment versus, a higher risk trade. So very excited to follow up. Just wanted to do my part in keeping you guys up to date. And again, like I said, we will be live streaming Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, and Alphabet as they report earnings. And there's also going to be that rate decision on Wednesday at 2 p.m. We're going to be live streaming all of it here for free on YouTube. And all you literally need to do is drop a thumbs up and subscribe. I do apologize for the longer video today. Just wanted to make sure that you had a full understanding of not only the micro outlook today of what's going on and impacting some of these companies, but also the macro outlook for maybe this week. So excited to follow up. Hope that earned a thumbs up. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.